James Lynch here for Home of Fight. Really happy to talk to my next guest because he's come out of retirement. He's going to be fighting Edson Barboza, UFC 323, December 6th. It is next Saturday. Jalin, how's it going, man? Good to talk to you.
It's going good. Everything's good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Where are you right now? You're getting way better weather than where I am. So looks like you're having a good time over there in California.
In Newport Beach, enjoying it.
Enjoying paradise. Let's start there first. I mentioned off the top, you're coming out of retirement. What brought you to that decision? What's bringing you back to MMA?
It's just a higher purpose and higher calling for it than just myself. A lot of people around me, really poured into me, and I just feel like that's where I need to be right now. And I kept trying to run away from it and hoping that other doors will open up. And the other doors were still there. They're open. They're willing to be open, but I just know this is where I need to be.
Yeah, well, it's good to see you back. Like I said, I think a lot of people, when you did step away, I mean, we understood. I know you were dealing with a lot, but, obviously one of the best fighters in the lightweight division. So good to see you back. And I mentioned it there, you're in California. So last time we spoke, you were in Florida. What brought you back home to California? Take me through that whole move and being back, I'm sure, closer to family as well.
I wouldn't say cliche, but the short answer would just say ultimately it would just be, God called me back here. That's always going to be like my answer for things right now. But it just made the most sense with how a lot of things were going. I needed to come back here, be closer to my kids, closer to my pastor, get right with the church out here. And then, yeah, man, everything just started unraveling and unfolding. Started training with the Bloodline guys, training with Cubs gym,
Nice.
training at Cubs gym more. Yeah, training at Pat's gym at Tenor. So yeah, then getting back to my roots.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man. I love it. And so how long has it been that you've been back?
I got back, I think in May.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been back here since May. Yeah.
And take me through, kind of letting the UFC know, like, did you how long ago did you contact them saying like, hey, I'm not, I'm not retired. You could book me for a fight. Like, how long ago was that? How much notice did you get for this opportunity?
I got plenty notice. I think I told them around like August, maybe
Okay, nice.
August, September, somewhere around there. Like I was like, hey, I think there's something for me to come back to now. I was like, okay, maybe it's time. So yeah, that was it.
Okay, that's awesome. Were there any other opponents offered you, or is it just Barboza and you're just like, hey, let's go, let's do it?
Yeah, they didn't. I didn't get any other offers actually,
Okay.
and I knew like if I was gonna come back, it was gonna be against a legend. I just didn't know who. I thought it was gonna be like maybe like Charles or someone. Like I don't know. I wasn't even active looking in the roster. I didn't have any expectations of that, but I just knew it was gonna be someone that was you know a veteran of the sport. And when they did present me Barboza's name, I was like, yeah, of course, that would be such an honor to fight him.
How do you feel like your style matches up against Barboza's in this fight?
No.
I feel like
No.
he likes to strike, which is gonna make it fun across the board for everyone watching, for me as well. I don't have to worry about too much takedowns, too much takedown defense this camp, so that's been a blessing. He's gonna have grit. He's gonna be tough. Dude, like I can't remember too many boring Edson Barboza fights. So I'm excited for it.
I think it was.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good fight. And you talked there about training with Bloodline. I talked to Juan Archuleta, a couple fights ago, and I know they got a really good thing going on there. So who are you mainly getting to work with over there as far as training partners?
I've been training with Richie Miranda. I trained with Doug a bit. I've been training with Jacob Rosales. Dude, I've been training with everybody in the room, honestly. But those have been the main people I've been training with as of late. Cub's been giving me some knowledge, so it's been good.
Oh, so it eats me.
Nice. That's good. And got to ask, because you're a big guy, and we talk about this all the time. How's the weight going? I know you've been off for a little bit, but how's it getting down to 155?
Oh, weight's been good. I mean, this morning I was like, dang, I woke up a little heavy. And then I was like, what's going on? So I brought the scale with me to the gym. Yeah. And then right after I was done training, I was like, oh, I'm late. I was like, oh yeah, we're good. So I think it was the timing of my eating yesterday, and my rehydrating was just later than it should have been. So I woke up a little heavy, but yeah, I was right back where I need to be, like super ideal. So I'm not even stressing out about weight at all. Like I'll probably walk into fight week at like 167 and then cruise and just cut the rest from there. So.
Nice. That's awesome. And we talked about being with the new team there. What's your corner going to look like going into this fight?
The usual. It's going to be Anthony Gonzalez, Daryl Christian, and then Manny Fernandez. They're going to be in my corner.
There we go. And how's this one playing out? I know you're not a guy that doesn't like going to the scorecard, so how do you see this fight unfolding?
I see it being a great fight. I see it being fun. I see it being it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good fight, and I think it's ideal to come back to. And then I don't like to go to the judges, and I don't foresee it going to the judges. And I think that'll be it.
Well, not looking past obviously 323, but you're back. You're in the UFC. Do you have any goals for next year? Like, is it just keeping active, kind of just taking it fight to fight? What are some of the things you're looking forward to for next year as we kind of close the chapter on this year?
I want to be active. I want to be as active as I possibly can. I hear there's a card in LA, so I want to finish this one up in good standings, no injuries, and then get on that card, and then see what June or July is looking like. Get on a card then, and then just coast for the rest of the year.
Did you say they're going to California next year?
I don't know. I heard something about it.
Is that the rumor? Is that the rumor? We're not confirming anything here, but yeah, it sounds like they're going back. I mean, they went to LA back in January of this year, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah. So, if that is true, if that's the case, if that's what they're doing, then yeah, I would love to, be a part of that. California kid, born in LA, so I mean that'd be cool. Raised in the IE, but it'd be cool.
I imagine too, like you could probably take more opportunities now being back on the West Coast because obviously they do so many events in Vegas. You mentioned California. Like, do you find that'll be a bit easier for you too, as opposed to being in Florida?
Yeah, 100%. And not even just for fight opportunities, but also just other business opportunities and showing opportunities, sponsorship opportunities. Just there's so much more, and especially since I already built a foundation and market out here. There's so much more for them to use and utilize me in that facet. So yeah, it's hard to beat the West Coast. I love Florida though. I'll be back in Florida soon. I'm probably gonna go back after this fight. I love Florida.
Okay,
but
there you go. Good endorsement.
Yeah, California is for me right now.
Now, when you were away, were you keeping an eye on the division, or were you kind of just totally off watching MMA once you retired? Like, have you been kind of keeping tabs on everything?
I wasn't really inclined to watch any of the fights or division. I mean, I did watch Ilia. I watched his fight with Oliveira. I recently watched Dan and Arman's fight, and that's pretty much it.
That was last weekend. What did you think of Arman's performance in that fight?
Man, he looked good. Dan looked good too. Arman just got his submission and got out of some slick submissions, and he did his job. He did his job, and he made it look good. So yeah.
Obviously, we've heard Ilia talk, and he's the new champion, and he's mentioned sort of how he sort of wants to fight like Paddy Pimblett, or maybe he moves up to fight Islam. Like, are you one of those people just who's in the division? Do you want to see him fight Arman next? A lot of people feel like that's the fight they should be making. The fact that they haven't booked Ilia's next fight, or do you think Paddy would be a good title fight as well too?
I think it's one of those things. Either fight will make good sales. I think both fights would do numbers. So whichever one happens first, I think that's just up to the company. But I think both of them sell. Arman has earned it. I think Paddy's earned it too. I think like the buildup for that fight would just be crazy because they've already had history. And it's just I believe the UFC can't go wrong either way.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things sort of unfold. I know we're kind of waiting to see what happens in that division. The former champion in your division, Islam Makhachev, he's now at 170. What did you think of him, basically picking up where he left off at lightweight? He looked really good in that welterweight debut.
Yeah, he went out there and he did his thing. He looks good. He looks really good. I love JDM's style. I love that he's primarily a striker, but that that wrestling, that grappling that Islam has is just next level. So he showed it. He used it, and that's what ultimately won him the fight. Even his striking looked decent too. It's like wow.
Yeah, certainly leveled up. Do you think he'll ever come back down to 55, or do you think he's done in that weight class? Because he talked about the weight cut being really tough, right?
He's not coming back down to 55.
Yeah, I don't think
And
so either.
and yeah, and I knew he foreseen that, and he also wants to open up the 55 division for like some of his other guys, who will ultimately come to the UFC. So it all makes sense, but I don't see him coming back down to welterweight. Heck, even when I retired, I was like, oh, I'm gonna start lifting weights. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna bulk. I started walking around lighter than than I was when I was fighting.
Really?
So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I was
yeah.
going to ask you that. Like any part of you watch Islam and go, maybe I should go up there. You have fought at welterweight before, but I just mean like to actually commit to the division. Does that didn't kind of entice you at all? Seeing what Islam did?
No, no.
No.
I fought at welterweight on short notice.
Against Vicente
Um,
Luque, I know I was at the fight. That was a tough call on that debut, right? So
Yeah, that was I shouldn't even took looking back, like I shouldn't even took that fight, but hey, I had to take the opportunity. But it's like I fought him on like a week's notice, up a weight class. Literally, the only thing I did to make weight that fight was I didn't eat dinner the day before.
really,
And I was on
okay,
weight, yeah. Because I,
yeah,
I walked
okay,
around so light back then. Yeah, so yeah, man. He walked in the fight at like 190. I was like 172.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, pretty nuts. A lot of fighters, I mean, they've been kind of vocal about this. Did you have any desire to fight on that White House card? There's been some fighters saying I need to be on there. Other fighters are like, I don't care. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Is that like a bucket list thing for you, or you don't care?
I think they'll get me on that card.
Okay, why do you think that? It just out of curiosity. Got like a hint, a hunch?
Um, the fight I would want for that card, I think they would make happen. And Dana White's seen that fight the first time that fight happened. So if it happens again, I'm pretty sure he would like to see it again. So I'll just leave it
Okay,
at that.
so we got to go through your resume and figure out who you fought and what rematch you won. Is that basically what you're telling us to do here?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm gonna just
fair
leave
enough.
it at
Fair enough.
that.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I like the honesty there. And then obviously, you talked about obviously you getting this fight and everything. Are you? I know you were with First Round. Are you still like? Are you talking to the UFC directly, or are you doing that through management?
I'm still with first round. I'm still talking through them and letting them take care of things. I haven't talked to anybody directly as of late. I was gonna reach out to Hunter and Shelby, but I just let management deal with that, and it's all good. So yeah.
Makes things easier. That's good.
hmm
Before we go, obviously the focus is on the fight, but any plans for the holidays as we're kind of coming up around the corner here with everything that's going on. Once the UFC sort of shuts down, we got 2 events left, right? So
Yeah, I'm going to sit and watch a bunch of people enjoy food for Thanksgiving and just be thankful that I get to watch them enjoy it. I'm gonna say eat for me because you know that's a part of the game right now. And then start December off with a bang, finish it off with a bang, throw a nice birthday party for my son, yeah, and then coast and then get ready for January.
yeah, yeah, it's going to be a big year. Jalin, thanks so much for doing this. Especially, I know you're spending time with your kids, so I really appreciate the time as always. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Um, I want to I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ first and foremost. Everything I've endured, I've got through because of Him, and my realization that I do need a Savior. Next, I'll thank everybody in my corner, everybody in the church, everybody that has been helping me for this camp and just keeping me mentally sharp. Um, Shout out to Pat Tenor, love the brand. Shoot, shout out to my coaches, Anthony Gonzalez, Manny Fernandez, Daryl Christian. Thank you guys. Daniel Matos, thank you. Um, Brandon, thank you. Pastor Gabe, thank you, man. I could thank so many people. We can go on and on and on. But yeah, my social media is The Tarantula on Instagram, on TikTok. I believe it's The Tarantula MMA, and Facebook's Jalin Turner. So yeah, that's where you can find me.